Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a review of the EnacFire 3x3. So I have been playing with this cube for a few weeks now and I'm ready to do the full review on it. You can also check out my unboxing and first impressions of these two cubes, which are the same. So as you can see, it comes in stickered and stickerless versions. On the outside, shades are pretty typical. I don't have any problems with them. So here you can just look at it. The shades like that. It's a typical size 3x3, and I'm actually very impressed with this cube even now. Sometimes I'll be impressed with the cube initially, but then as I use it for a while I'll become less and less impressed with it. But this one, it ships with super loose tensions, but it's still really controllable on those tensions and it doesn't feel unstable. Most cubes these days don't really pop at all, but they can feel unstable. But with this one, it doesn't at all. And I did tighten the tensions on this one, which is the one I was using most of the time. I did cube for about a week straight with it, with its stock tensions. And I actually really didn't have much of a problem with it. I just tightened it up just to see what happened, and I haven't bothered to loosen it or fool with that anymore. But on both tensions, it's very controllable, which is what I think the biggest trait of this cube is. Just because it maintains that stability through a big range of tensions, because this is reasonably tight now versus how it comes initially where it's just like super loose. So it's definitely very controllable and it has a really good feel to it, which is probably the most important thing to me personally, just because I'm kind of an accurate turner, so corner cutting stuff isn't as important to me as some other people, but I still like to have it. So this has that nice feel to it, but it also has the performance that I didn't really get because I've been using a Xanchi up until now, which is like extremely outdated in most people's opinion, but I'm just so used to it and I just like how crisp it is, so that's why I've been using that. And this, I think, I wouldn't say it feels like the Xanchi, but it has a controllable feel like the Xanchi. So that's what I probably like the most about it. Anyways, so twisting, corner twisting and popping, I did have a few corner twists when it came with the super loose tensions stock. I had a few corner twists, but I've never had this pop even on the really loose tensions. So good job, New Island, with this cube. The popping mechanism is very good. So let's go ahead and take a look at the mechanism. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is the centerpiece, because I had a heck of a time figuring out how to change the tensions on this cube, because as you can see there's really like no obvious way to get this center cap off, because I couldn't really find where it was. There was actually a little plastic seam along here, you probably can't see it. I was like trying to pry that off, and I figured out that this whole top section comes off, even with like all the curvy stuff on it. So that's how that goes, and that does make it hard to pull off just the center caps, but it also keeps them from falling out when you're solving, because the center cap is part of the mechanism, which I found kind of interesting. So anyways, so the centerpiece, it's about your typical speed cube design, you know, multiple sections. You can just look at that for yourself, but there are some bumps on what would be the flat spots on each side of each of the four sides, which I guess helps with turning resistance. If you take a look at the edge piece, once again, pretty typical, just lots of curves. We always have that kind of indentation or groove in the sides to keep it from popping, and then a torpedo-like thing. Corner pieces, large base, and then a really small stock, and then kind of a fatter section of the stock, and very curvy as well. We can see that these go together like so. And that's pretty much it. So the anti-popping mechanism works really well on this cube, as I said before, although on looser tensions it will have occasional problems with corner twisting. So now that we've taken a look at the mechanism, let's check out corner cutting real quick. So I already showed corner cutting on the stock tensions in my unboxing and first impressions, so now I'm going to do a test with the tighter tensions that I personally like. So I think 45 is pretty much the limit for this cube. I guess I went past, but you can't go much past, but it's pretty buttery all the way up to 45, so really helps with that feel when you're solving, because you don't want the cube to get tight before it corner cuts. And then reverse corner cutting on my tighter tensions, not quite 1 QB, probably like 3/4 it looks like, but that's even pushing it maybe half or so, so not super great on the reverse, but like I said, the feel of this cube is really what makes it something that I really like. So speed of the cube itself is pretty good. I actually had the stock lube in this because it was fast enough for me and I didn't want to make it too fast and possibly uncontrollable. So, but it's definitely fast enough, and like I said, it's very controllable. Probably said that about 10 times now. And to finish this review up, I'll just do a quick solve. Alright, so in conclusion, I definitely would recommend this cube, especially if you're into a very controllable feeling cube, but don't want to sacrifice performance for a controllable feeling cube. So with that said, thank you for watching.